Aries, the world is a flutter and you are its main star in August. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Cello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to our transformational tarot reading for Aries in August as part of my aligned astro chat in my Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life. And this month, we are going to get right to it because it's pretty intense. I am going to be pulling cards for you today. We're going to get a theme from the Self Sorcery Oracle deck from Lisa Lister. And then the card deck that was calling to me for you guys is the Galactic Star Tarot. That's from Alexandra Hanley and Pamela Chen. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so we are going to sort of pull a, oops, all right, these cards are going all over the place. We're going to pull an overarching theme for you. And I feel like this month, it's really going to be important that you remain focused on the things that I want to say are priority for you, the things that matter most to you at this time. A revolution of the heart. Okay, so it's interesting that I was getting right away that you want to be putting the focus on you, because I feel like, well, we know you guys are the fire starters in the astrological wheel. You get everything going. And I feel like this is a month where there is going to be a lot that is happening in the collective, and how that affects you, how that spurs you on, is that revolution of the heart. I feel that you guys are really going to be the trailblazers. You're the ones that people are going to be looking to in order to be able to get that next start, to make that next move. And I feel like a lot of you, when we are talking about that heart-related energy, you are really stepping more into the heart space and recognizing, what is it that I am really honestly trying to achieve here in my life? And by asking that question, I feel like the answer that you're going to get is really that heart-related space. I want more connection with people. I want more true, deep connection with people. I want people to acknowledge that I am worthy of that deep, true connection. I want people to acknowledge that my heart is of value and worth. And this isn't from a needing external validation perspective. I feel like this is you guys standing in your own power. This is you guys getting into that space and that place where you're like, I'm tired of either being on the sidelines, or I'm tired of being dismissed. I'm tired of not being taken seriously. I'm done with being seen in a certain way, in a certain light. Now is my time. I'm doing more things. I'm more than the sum of my parts. And I feel like August is what's bringing this up and bringing this through. Ooh, Aries. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I really feel like you guys are going to be the energy that a lot of the rest of us turn to for inspiration and for guidance. So where are you at right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Let's check this out. Here we've got the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So again, this is your sign, or this is your element, I should say. Knight of Wands, the fire energy. And I feel like when we're talking about where you are right now, you are on the move. You are on the go. You are really in a space, in a place where you're looking to not ignite things. I feel like you've already got things in ignition. I feel like now what you're looking for is the other people to acknowledge it, so that gives you the fuel and the motivation to continue on. Now, we know as Aries energy, you are the fire starters, but the challenge is in the follow through. The challenge is in the, taking it through to the next level, or seeing it through to the end. And I don't feel here that this is about you necessarily needing to see things through to the end. I feel like this is you taking a rest stop. Like, you're at the rest stop, you're on the journey, And actually it's not a rest stop. I want to say I feel like it's the I'm seeing like NASCAR racing. So it's like you've done a number of laps, you're in the lead, but you need to have a fuel stop. It's not a rest stop, it's a fuel stop. Because I don't feel that you're at rest. I feel that your energy is, you want to get more, you want to keep going, but you need the fuel in order to be able to do that. Knight of Wands energy often can be a bit hot-headed, which can indicate that you're using, how do I put this? It's like using the wrong energy, or using the energy in a way that is self-destructive rather than in a way that is productive for yourself. Knight of Wands energy is, yes, I'm going into the fray, but I might not really be thinking too much about it. There might not be a total plan. I heard something and I want to defend somebody's honor now, and I don't necessarily have the whole story, but I'm all in. And I feel like for you guys right now, you're trying to abate that. Like you're trying to hold that back. And I applaud you for that, because it is important that you be more responsive at this time rather than reactive to things. There is going to be a time for, I want to say, reaction, and I'm seeing like a combustible reaction. I'm seeing like a chemical reaction. There's going to be a time for that. Now is not that time. I feel like that time will come. And it may even come by the end of August. You may have a day, I'm seeing the 22nd and the 23rd actually is standing out in my mind as being a particular period of time in the month where you do feel that, sort of that chemistry, and okay, now's the time to surge forward and to move ahead. But right now, I feel like you want to kind of hold that back in reserve. You don't want to burn all the gas in the tank as it stands. And in this particular card, I love obviously the Egyptian flair here. We see that the Sphinx's eyes are lit up. The heart is lit up as well. I feel like that's really important, because you are heart led right now. You are leading with your heart, but you have to have your eyes open. You have to be able to see what's in front of you. And if you can't see what's in front of you, I feel like it's okay, go in and refuel, right? Get a little bit of gas up for what is to come and what is to come through. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Let's see. Ooh, 5 of Swords. Interesting. I feel like the thoughts in your head, the plan that you have in your head is almost like overtaking rationality. I want to say it's like right now in this energy, you're your own worst enemy, not because you have, bad motivation or that your plan is bad. I feel more like you're in a rush, you're in a hurry, you want to get things going, or there's you're close to the finish line and you just want to get to the other side of it. I feel almost like you've got this sense of victory. I'm moving into a victorious space. I'm moving into a space and a place that I've always wanted to be. And I've never actually gotten this far before. And so I don't want to lose it. I don't want to miss the mark. I want to say I don't feel like you're going to miss the mark here, but you also don't want to bulldoze through a situation. 5 of Swords can be, it's conflict, but it can be inner conflict. And I feel like that's the issue here, is you're kind of your own worst enemy. I mean, you've made a trade. I feel like that's what's happened here. You've made a trade, with these aliens or whatever, with these people that think differently than you do, you're around people that maybe aren't on the same page as you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this is bad, but you kind of bit off more than you could chew. So you've got to leave these two behind as you're sort of walking ahead. But it's like you're constantly in your head. Maybe there's a bit of overanalyzing here that is occurring at this time. And I feel like it's that as soon as you recognize that I'm overanalyzing, or I'm getting stuck or fixated on a particular issue or a particular plan that I have, that's your indication to, I want to say, to recognize, okay, I need to get a second opinion here, or I need to collaborate, or I just need to get out and clear my head a little bit, because I'm my own worst enemy. I'm what I'm walking into here is bulldozing through, rather than, I want to say, you're looking for quantity, not quality. And you want to be looking for quality, not quantity. That's what this feels like. So the catalyst I feel that's coming up for you here is going to be a realization, an aha moment. And in that aha moment, there's the recognition of, why do I keep repeating the same pattern? Why am I here again in some capacity? And you're not fully here. You're like on the way, but you recognize, I'm on my way. I don't want to do this again because I know where this leads. And that's not what I'm really looking for. That's not what I'm looking to have happen. So as soon as you connect to that, I feel like it's a recognition of, oh, okay, I'm kind of my own worst enemy at this time. You know, I'm just trying to adjust the camera here. I'm my own worst enemy at this time, and I don't need to be. I don't need to go into self-sabotage mode. I need to pause and breathe, and to understand that I can have everything that I want and need. Everything is working out for me in the way that it's supposed to. I don't have to panic about what is coming up and coming through, because that's what I feel is sort of happening here. You're panicking. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see that I could actually get to the thing that I've been trying to get to for years. You know, I don't want to mess this up. So you're driven to move through, but it might not be well thought out, or there might be a divine timing issue here that you're not considering. So don't get in your own way around this. Here's your deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Strength. Yes. Ego. So, Aries, I feel like I need to tell you that this is something that you deserve. You're going to have it. What is meant for you is never going to pass you by. And I feel like, yes, you've had to work really hard for this thing. I want to say that the life has not always been kind or fair to you in this regard, if we look at it from the perspective of ego. But what if we looked at it from the perspective of soul? Perspective of soul says, I'm here to have the experience, period. End of story. End of sentence. And I feel like you're looking at it and saying, but it's got to be this and it's got to be that. And I need it to do this. And I need to have it turn out in a particular way in order for me to be able to claim the victory. And I feel like the strength card is coming up and coming through to say, you know, this is her. She's saying, shh, it's okay. She's comforting the dragon. She's saying, you don't need to breathe your fire right now. Conserve your fire. Conserve your fire, because everything is all right. I've got you. We can do this together. And I feel like this is Source speaking to you. This is Source energy saying to you, yes, the timing is going to be a little bit wonky. It's going to make you a little bit nuts because you want to get this freaking show on the road. You want to be able for yourself to say, I did it. I conquered this beast, or I conquered this particular demon that I've been, trying to work on for my entire life. And I do deserve this. And why can't I have it? I feel like the strength card is coming through to say, you can have it. It is yours. It is inevitable. It has already occurred. Right now, you need to stop and breathe. Again, I come back to quality over quantity is what this card is coming up and coming through with. Wow. So interesting. I feel like you're on the verge, on the precipice of a huge aha moment within yourself, within your own growing, your own learning. I want to say there's a leveling up that's happening on a spiritual level, and you're feeling it, and you're feeling it under the surface. You're saying to yourself, okay, I don't want to let this go. I feel like you want to kind of take the child's approach here and be more playful with it rather than being driven. Yes, fire is your element, but I feel here like you might want to bring in a little bit of water so that you can float on the water to get to this next level. It'll be a lot easier for you and a lot more enjoyable. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away right now? And what role, pattern, or identity has run its course? This is always an important one to know, is what we're being affected by. Yeah, the Empress, that desire to have it all, that desire to say, I've earned this. If everyone else can have this, why can't I? And I feel like the Empress is coming through to say, hey, there's a lot that you have planted, a lot of seeds that you have planted. There's a lot that you have the potential to give birth to. It's a matter of, again, getting out of your own way and choosing to step forward. But getting out of your own way also sometimes means following rules or regulations or following timing that may not feel aligned with the ego's version of timing. And I keep getting this, divine order energy. And that's not what this card is about, but that's what I'm hearing. So I feel like the Empress is, when we're talking about that, what's dying away and what is the sort of the past energy, it's the understanding that, okay, I'm still waiting for the birth of this idea. It's recognizing, okay, the birth is here. It's happening. The baby is crowning. I can relax and breathe through this. I don't need to hurry through the process. I need to relax and breathe through this. And I need to allow nature to take its course, because nature on the other side of it is going to get me to where I need to be a lot better than the way that I am right now, because I don't know where I'm going. This is new. It's a new level. And I have, an inkling of what it is that I might be experiencing and expanding into, but I don't know for sure officially how everything is going and growing. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Okay. Highest potential. This is your Phoenix possibility. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. And Aries, everything about you guys is breakthrough energy. You are the breakthrough sign. I feel like people love that breakthrough energy, whether they attribute it to, their Aries peeps or not. Whenever we are having a breakthrough and we are excited about that breakthrough, we owe the Aries energy to that, the Aries spirit to that. So I want to say, when we're talking about this here, and this being your potential, it's important that you understand that you've got a leg up on everybody else, because you are breakthrough. So if you think about it from that perspective, you're looking for the breakthrough, but the breakthrough is already within you. You don't have to look far for it. It's already inside. So it's a matter of just letting it come to the surface. Again, that divine order and timing. Yes, you've got the Fool card. So, oh my God, I love this. It is that new beginning. It is that fresh start. It is the recognition that you are getting ready to start this new path and this new journey. And as a result of you being ready to start this new path and this new journey, you have to be willing to take the leap. But again, it's not leaping without looking. I feel here like it's using your intuition to allow yourself to open up into that next space. For those of you who are in search of, I feel like, a new career or a new advancement in your career, this is a month where there's going to be, I feel like, a choice in opportunity. So it's kind of like you're going to have it at minimum 2 paths that you can explore, and quite possibly up to 4. And I feel like it's important for you. Again, I feel like what you're up leveling into here is learning that what is meant for you is not going to pass you by. And so therefore you can have the momentum and the motivation, but you don't have to push yourself past a particular limit. That there is some measure of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like sitting in and allowing things to unfold a little bit. You guys are really good at taking an idea and saying, all right, I think this is great, and let me just kind of dive in and, sink my teeth into it. But sometimes you can sink your teeth into it so much that you lose interest in the path or in the idea. The Fool card is saying, let's not do that again. Let's actually take the leap, but we can take the leap with our eyes open. The Fool card always is, well, typically, mostly is depicted by the Fool looking up rather than looking at their surroundings. There's a bit of naivete here. I don't feel like you're naive. What I feel like the invitation is to say, okay, I'm not, this isn't my first rodeo. It may be my first foray on this particular path, in this particular direction, but it's not my first. And so as a result, I don't necessarily have to just focus on the up and up, I can focus on, okay, I know where I'm going. I've set my sights on that. Now let me just kind of take a look at the resources that I have around me. Then you'd pay attention to, oh, I've got my little dog with me. I've got my little companion. I've got this beautiful rose in my hand that is going to serve me well as I move forward. Yes, I'm packing light. I've got the feather, in my cap. Like, I'm good to go, but it doesn't hurt to kind of pay attention to where you're at in your moment right now, taking things one step at a time. All right. So, what is emerging? What's just around the corner for you? And what energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? And I feel like when we're talking about that revolution of the heart, I feel like this is really important when we're talking about that emergence, because the heart is the foundation of it. The heart is going to be the vessel that holds what is emerging. And like I said, the baby's cresting, right? So the heart is going to be the swaddle blanket, right? Or the hand the hands that catch the baby as the baby comes out into the world, right? Knight of discs. So discs in this is pentacles in this deck. Interesting. It's your second night. I feel like we are talking about that divine timing energy. Knight of Discs, Knight of Pentacles is the knight that you can depend on, but they're slow to the race. They're slow to the party. They're the last ones to show up, but also the last ones to leave. They're the ones that help you to clean up the mess on the other side when everybody else has left. And I feel like when I'm looking at this particular card depiction, what I'm really drawn to is that it's a fox. And the fox is an opportunist. And I feel like it's the perfect pairing for the Knight of Discs or the Knight of Pentacles, because the fox, yes, can act on an opportunity the second they see it. They can be a bit, it's not impulsive or rash as much as it's recognizing, I got to get on this now because this opportunity might not show up again. But there's also this energy of the fox can lay in wait and look and observe and watch and wait for the right opportunity to seize whatever it is that they're trying to get. And this particular being is holding this sphere. And I told you guys, I feel that there's a spiritual up-leveling that is about to occur. You're kind of in the middle of that. You're on the precipice of that. And I feel like this is connected to your energy levels. And I want to say, if you're not embracing a bit of that lying in wait, but being active in your waiting, it's like the pregnant pause. That, yeah, you're pausing, but there's activity in that pause. There's purpose in that pause. If you're not doing that, I feel like your energy levels are going to wane. There's going to be a lessening of your ability or capacity to get where it is that you want to go. And you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So what's emerging, I feel, is maybe a new approach. I also feel like there's a lot of support that's being offered to you guys this month if you're willing to receive it. I feel like this is in the form of collaborations. And, it's a very difficult thing to actually give birth by yourself. A birth goes a lot more smoothly when you've got a coach and when you've got a doctor or a nurse or a midwife that is, sort of overseeing things. And I feel like there's going to be opportunity for you to collaborate a little bit more in this regard if you so choose it. Where are you in this process? How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Ooh, you are boldly rising. And again, with this high priestess energy, I want to say, I feel like that boldly rising, this is the challenge for you, is you can boldly rise. You do that very well, but then you kind of lose steam, a little bit along the way in the journey. This is a time where you don't want to lose steam. This is the time where you want to conserve your energy. You want to be very calculated about the secrets that you share, about what it is that you are receiving. I don't want to say it's like you need to play your cards close to your chest, because I don't feel like there's anyone around you right now that like wants to steal your idea or is not kind of invested in your success. But there is something about you holding that, I think I mentioned it before, holding that back a little bit in reserve. The High Priestess in the Revolution of the Heart is very interesting. We don't often think of the heart when we're talking about High Priestess, because she's the oracle. She receives the information and she gives it out, and she's a bit detached in the ways that she does it. I feel like this Revolution of the Heart is you bringing that High Priestess energy in, the receiving of the guidance, the receiving of the channeled wisdom that you're taking in, and then processing it through the heart. It comes out into the world through the heart externally. You receive it internally through the intuition, through that third eye space. You process it out through the heart. You process it. Oh, sorry. Me talking with my hands. You process it through the whole body. It takes a soul journey, and then it gets expressed through the heart space. So the High Priestess, I feel, is very much about the you engaging. I'm hearing the word interference too, like allowing your High Priestess energy to interfere a little bit more in your day to day. Because when it's interfering because it actually has something really important to convey. And if you're bulldozing, you're not going to receive the message. But I feel like it's because the heart is saying, wait a second, like, don't rush through this process, because I've got something to say here. Like, I've got you. I've got the support. I can handle it. So take your time to integrate right now. Because once it comes through me, it's going to be out in full force. And we want it to be a fully formed idea. We want it to be a fully formed baby, right? Like, we want that baby to have as much success as it possibly can when it comes out into the world. I really feel that there's an energy of you guys, again, completing a project and being really excited about it, because it does feel like a first for you in that regard. There's going to be an opportunity for you to celebrate your wins in a really big way. Again, I just feel like you want to be a bit calculated about it for yourself. So many people want to see you thrive. So many people are supportive of this path for you, and I really want to kind of emphasize that that message and that energy. But I also feel like the biggest concern here is how you're allowing things to flow through, or maybe how you're not. Again, talking about that inner saboteur. So here's your circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or a negative one? Another disc. So Page of Discs. So we had the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So Page of Discs, Page of Pentacles is very curious about life, almost like the scientist, the one who creates the experiments to sort of get further understanding of the world around them. And I feel like this is what when we talk about circles of support around you, I feel like you've got people around you that want to ask the right questions, to get you thinking, to get you fine-tuning, to get you more deeply connected to what it is that you're about to birth. You're connected in one way, but there are a lot of other things about it, because it's brand new, that you don't know. If we use the actual analogy of a birth, and forgive me, I've never given birth to an actual child. I have fur babies and I have stepkids, and niece and nephews. I've seen people go through the birthing process, right? I've seen people go through the pregnancy and all the rest of it. But here's the thing that I have noticed pretty consistently is mom gets to know baby that's inside of her. Absolutely. There's a bond, there's a connection. There's a lot of okay, we've got this interesting journey together. We don't know exactly how things are going to play out, but there's a lot of hope, right? Then when the baby actually comes out, it's the, oh God, we don't have a manual for this. But the instinct kicks in, right? The intuition kicks in. And then there's experimentation. There's a little bit of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks when the baby cries. But eventually, the mother figures out, the mother can tell the difference between the cries and be able to navigate those waters. This is that time where I feel like you've got people around you who are willing to throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Or you've got people around you who've done that research. They've done the experiments. So they're there to offer support. They're there to offer food for thought, guidance, advice, direction. It's up to you whether or not you're going to receive it. And I feel like it's there in a positive way. I don't feel like there's anything negative that's coming up and coming through right now that says, ooh, be careful, be cautious. Again, I don't feel like you have to play your cards close to your chest because somebody wants to take your ideas. I feel more like because you are in the process of birthing this something new that's coming up and coming through, it just takes you some time to integrate all of the shifts and the changes that are happening. And so when you do let somebody in, they're going to be helpful. They're going to support you, and they're going to support you based on the levels that you're willing to let them in at. So you have control over that. Hopes and fears. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Here we have the Ace of Cups. Oh. So I really feel here, as I'm looking at this Ace of Cups, I mean, this is a card of dreams. It's a card of initiation. It's a card of love overflowing. It's a card of promise and potential. It's deep love. It's deep joy. And I feel like all of these things are what you are about to come into. You're the cresting baby, right? You're giving birth, in essence, to yourself. And I feel like this Ace of Cups, you've been here before, but again, you've not been able to fully complete the process. So this is the time to complete the process. You don't need to be afraid of the outcome of it. And you don't need to be afraid that, oh my God, what if the same thing happens again and I'm not able to succeed? I want to say to you, for some of you, the success is going to be right there, and then something happens that is going to feel familiar, and it's going to look like things don't happen. What I want to say to you, this isn't going to be for all of you, but it's for some of you. When this happens, don't panic. Don't get into the space of, oh my God, here we go again. How did I miss it? It's not about that. Give it time. Don't panic. Bathe in the potential. Bathe in the excitement. Bathe in the initiation, the initiatory energy. Bring yourself to the party, and all is well. I feel like for a few of you, there's going to be this, again, it's like, oh crap, it's happening again. I can't believe it. Things aren't always what they seem. And I feel like it's kind of the universe basically throwing out the, okay, this is the thing. This is really it. Do you really mean it? Are you really ready for it? Is this what you really want? And I feel like this is the opportunity for you to say, hell yes, this is exactly what I want. Yes, this is what I'm waiting for. So I feel like it's not, oh my God, here we go again. I feel that it's the universe saying, are you ready to apply the wisdom that you've learned? Is this really what you want? Because we're going to give it to you. This is your last chance to turn around and say no. So I want to say yes to it. Believe that it's going to happen, and it will be so. And finally, we have the outcome of your transformation if you stay on course. Who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Wow. King of Discs. So we had the Knight of Discs, the Page of Discs, and now we have the King of Discs. So I want to say there's success. There's leadership. There's that leadership energy. There's you being able to assimilate the information, to birth yourself into this new level of awareness and understanding. You're stronger than you were before. You're more clear. I want to say the clarity for you is pure. It's pristine. I want to say it's interesting that the queen didn't show up in your reading, because the queen is the structure and the organization and the delegation of things. So I feel like you don't have that yet, but that makes sense. You're going to get to the other side. You're going to have that victory. There's still more to learn once the victory has been achieved. The victory is simply the beginning of that next chapter. And I feel like that's what the king is representing is, okay, you've arrived at the victory. It's okay to take a moment to absorb and observe and to get your bearings and to say, okay, I've arrived, because there is more to come. And I feel like that'll be in September's reading, right? But here in August, I feel like you're going to get to where it is that you need to be. And I believe I saw the 22nd or the 23rd for you as being important dates for things to really start to open up. So I want to say, whatever it is that I'm tapping into here, I feel that the success is going to be within this full month's cycle. And you're going to see the fruits of your labor on the other side. But know and understand that this arrival is success, absolutely. But there is going to be more to follow. So don't lose that momentum, right? Like, you've achieved a goal. You've gotten to a place that was really challenging for you to get to. You've gotten there. But understand that there's also going to be more to go on the other side. So you don't want to stop here. This is just where you're going to be on the end of this month, but you don't want to stop here. This is like a pause a little bit, right? It's a little bit of a pause. It's a little bit of a celebration. And then you're going to be sort of moving on to the next and the next and the next and the next. Wow. So Aries, OMG, this is going to be an absolutely incredible month for you. I cannot wait to see how this spiritual awareness journey really opens you up, especially when we're talking about that revolution of the heart. It's time for the world to see your heart. And yes, people are going to acknowledge it, but I feel like the biggest acknowledgement is you acknowledging yourself, you seeing it out in the world. And whether people say it or not, they see it too. They feel it. It's there. It's palpable. Nobody can take that away. So I feel it brings a lot of clarity, but it also brings a lot of like truth and confidence into your space. That is your aligned Astro Chat transformational tarot reading for August. I hope you have an incredible one, and we will see you on the flip side. Transform well.